Welcome back to Obscure Gaming, where the almost consistency with my uploads as of late is truly a frightening thing. But don't worry, I'm sure this is just a signal that something awful will happen soon. So let's get back on track. Video games. On the last Obscure Gaming, we marveled at how I finally did a new Obscure Gaming, but also at how the game and everyone's new favorite standout character, Fat D, were pretty good for a bootleggy-ass game. Will today's game live up to such greatness? No. Today on Obscure Gaming, I'll be talking about Sonic the Hedgehog 4 for the Super Nintendo. But I'm no fool, you say. Sonic the Hedgehog 4 did come out 2 times, and then nothing else happened, and gosh darn it, it was special. And look, sure it was. But also, I speak of a different Sonic 4. One for the Super Nintendo, as I already said. A completely original title that in no way, shape, or form is a hack of Speedy Gonzales' Los Gatos Banditos, which is allegedly also for the Super Nintendo, allegedly. It doesn't really matter for my purposes though, seeing as I haven't even played the so-called original game. I'm just going to view this game as its own unique product. And so, let's hop into the rich plot of Sonic the Hedgehog 4. See, when you start the game, you're taken immediately to this crappy title screen that has Sonic and Tails just hanging out, some would say chilling, and this is where things are kind of left open to interpretation to the player. Upon starting, Tails is nowhere to be seen. It's high school all over again and you have no friends. You're taken to a level, and as I ventured further into the level, I found Mario in a cage. I don't know why Mario is in a cage. I can't envision a scenario in which he would get stuck in a cage, and I'm also not really sure why he's in quote-unquote Sonic's world. And upon freeing him, he said his name, which I'll go ahead and play that audio for you. And no, that wasn't your imagination, it did sound like crap. And then, you know, Mario hops around and whatnot, as Mario is tend to do, and then you have to go rescue more Marios in cages, because of course there's more Marios. And if you finish the game, you get this lovely ending sequence, which was made in Windows Movie Maker. Hooah! You made it! Awesome! Long pause. Now Sonic and Mario are good friends. Forever. ... Pause. And nobody can separate them. Pause. Sonic loves Nintendo. Mario loves Sega. And credits! So the game is about Sonic rescuing Mario because he loves him, and Tails is off fucking about. I don't care. Truly, it's a moving plot. So let's move away from it immediately and talk about the gameplay. Now, Sonic the Hedgehog 4 is a platformer. You take control of Sonic, whose hair will occasionally turn yellowy because the game is poorly made, and Sonic is on a mission of love to save the plumber and all his plumber clones. To accomplish this mission, you'll go through stage after stage, defeating enemies, collecting rings, defeating boss enemies, and platformering until every Mario is A-OK. Sonic himself controls fairly well, demonstrating a nice sense of speed, though a lack of some of his other abilities, probably due to the "this is a hack" thing. While he is still fast, you can't kill enemies by jumping on them, nor can you access the spin dash. No, for this outing, Sonic brought a new weapon: his foot. His only attack is a kick, which, whatever works, I guess. If anything, Sonic is a character who should be kicking constantly, because he's so fast, which means his feet they're probably strong and stuff. This game is making dreams become a reality. Some other character changes are that Sonic no longer needs to have rings to stay alive, although he can still collect them because he's addicted. And he now has a heart-life system instead of the "you have no rings, so now you're gonna die" system. Though don't worry, you can still fall in the pits and onto spikes and those will still kill you, so that's still intact, you guys, no worries. But now that your controls and Sonic's are all figured out, you venture forward into this mess of a world that someone called a video game. Though watch out, as deadly enemies stand in your path, enemies that are in no way associated with the Looney Tunes brand. deadly foes, from whatever the fuck this is, to crows, with terrible AI, who will run or fly right into your deathly feet. Of course, those are just small fries. Surely the game's boss fights will provide more of a challenge. And they do, to individuals with memories far worse than mine. The bosses all have pretty predictable AI patterns, and when they leave themselves open, you kick them, being the huge prick that you are, apparently. So yeah, the enemy AI leaves something to be desired, but you can still have fun in a platformer with just running fast and jumping on things, though unfortunately the ball is dropped in this area as well, because while the basic movement mechanics are by far the most sound thing about this game, the stage designs are just bland, and a lot of the time they just feel empty. Sure, you can hunt down enemies and kill them, but they just repeat the same basic AI patterns over and over again, so there's no real point or satisfaction to it. And there's also no real satisfaction to be found from exploring and collecting anything other than for the sake of raising your score, so I guess if that stuff is your kind of thing and you want the bestest Sonic 4 for the Super Nintendo score ever, good luck. Also, ignore that Sonic is a different color here. This is kind of a bootleg. That being said, there's nothing fundamentally broken about the game or anything like that, because it plays well enough, except in this one spot here where it froze, and I kept trying different angles, but that wasn't happening. But it's just overall a mediocre experience. Granted, there is at least two things I really like about the game. One, the game gives you like 15 lives to start off with, which that means you don't have to play that much to obtain those pesky extra lives. And two, Mario is not simply your freed love who jumps around. He's also a checkpoint, which is ridiculously handy. And really, it's the least he could do, getting multiplied and stuffed in cages. You're the worst plumber I've ever seen. Overall, the gameplay is nothing special at all. While the sense of speed and control is initially something that filled me with hope, the everything else the game wants you to do is just boring. And sometimes that's worse than being broken. But let's go ahead and move on to the presentation. Now I want to start by saying I think it's pretty funny that the unofficial bootleg Sonic 4 looks like a more obvious continuation of the art style that we saw in Sonic the Hedgehog than the actual Sonic 4. I just thought that was neat, and he does fit in quite well with the surroundings and in general. But yes, visuals. The stage themes are your generic, well, you're in a forest, and now you're in a spooky ghost house, and now you're in space, and now you're in space again. Now, I actually don't mind the way the stages themselves look. You know, what Sonic's running on. They look fine, they look nice, they get the job done, though someone really fucked up the background. I need you guys to look at this. The fucking island in the background is mirrored, and don't tell me that it's a reflection on water, because I am not willing to give that much credit here. The sky looks as though it's turning dark, like it's almost dark. But if you go up further, then there are mountains floating above that sky, and then above the mountains, there's another sky and a sun. And look, while I may not have gone to one of those fancy skyology schools, I am pretty sure that is not the way the sky works. But yeah, visuals. They are... yeah. So let's go ahead and move on to the game's incredible sound design. To start, the voice acting, I already showed you Mario, and that's about it, other than the same voice saying, Sonic, Sonic. Why is he saying Sonic, Sonic? I don't know. Maybe it's Mario. They love each other, but, you know, either way, it's crap. Besides that, the rings make not ring noises, they make cheese noises. Actually, if you can imagine the noise a cheese would make. If a cheese made noise. And when you hit things, you get a generic hit noise, so not much is really going on there. As for the music, I think the soundtrack consists of a whopping 3 songs, maybe 4. Any more than that and the Super Nintendo would have probably exploded. Now, most of the time, the game likes to play this one song, which I'll demo for you. There you go. And while that may not sound too annoying, try having it looped multiple times across multiple stages. Yeah. The only track I found myself enjoying was the spooky ghost house track, which I'll demo. I thought it was a nice tune, but 1 out of 3 and/or 4 isn't especially great, you guys. But that's Sonic the Hedgehog 4, the real one. Now, while I did ultimately walk away from this game having a less than desirable experience, I can't say it's bad. It's not, for the most part, broken. It's just kind of irritating and not interesting. But it's not bad, per se. So, if you happen to take interest in this title for some reason, I won't deter you from playing it, because who knows, you might actually have some fun with it. For me, though, what I see is a game that, well, isn't bad, it isn't good either, and it's boring, but yeah, you can do worse. Let's put it that way. I'll show you about I know about games, you guys. I'm gonna show you some bad stuff someday, and you're gonna wish I didn't. And well, this has been Obscure Gaming. Thank you for watching. Hey guys, Yuriofwind here, and welcome back to End Slate, where I don't write anything down, and the video is technically over, but I'm not gonna shut up. You just watched an Obscure Gaming on, what was it? Sonic the Hedgehog 4, the unofficial version, the real version, and I hope you enjoyed that. Glad to get another Obscure Gaming up. That means that that's gonna be a thing again, so yeah, I was kind of worried about that, you know, there'd be a one-off thing again, but I hope you enjoyed the video. Yeah. Let's do the End Slate. Let's perform our End Slatey duties. As you can see, we have 2 videos here that I'd like to show you if you're interested in videos. One is the last video I did on this channel, which was the Gaming Mysteries on Mega Man Online, the canceled Mega Man MMO. And I don't know if YouTube sent that to everyone's subscription box, because I got a couple of messages from people saying they didn't get that. So, if you didn't get that, I'm sorry. That's a different game from Mega Man Universe also. And then there was also Maverick Hunter, which was canceled, and then there was Mega Man Legends 3. So that's 4 Mega Man games that were canceled, you guys. Which is depressing. The other game is, speaking of depressing, this other video is a part of my Let's Play of Corpse Party over on the Gameplay channel / Let's Play, Yuriofwind Gameplay, whatever. If you would like to go check that out, that fucking horror-themed horror, I'm gonna play something Pokemon-related soon, actually. Maybe. I'm thinking about it. But yeah, if you want to check, if you want an End Slate the series, that's essentially it. Really. Just me rambling. And that's about it. If you like the video and, you know, you want to like it or whatever, or do the other stuff, the subscribe-y stuff or whatever, you can do that if you want. Only if you want to, though. You don't. I'm not begging you to do that. But the option is there. And also, I should mention that I have a Twitter at Yuriofwind. I post updates there, as well as nonsense and sarcastic remarks. A lot of sarcastic remarks. Yep. Because I'm using the internet correctly, you guys. Again, though, I hope you enjoyed the video. But I gotta go because my stomach hurts. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, that's the 3rd time. I gotta go. Bye, guys. I gotta go now. Bye. Bye. Saying goodbye is never easy, but I gotta go. Bye.